I'm sure I'm not the only one who misses E3. E3 was always my favorite time of year as a gamer. It's like Christmas for gamers. We get all kinds of announcements, we get things shown off, we get gameplay. It's really a fun time. If the pandemic hurt anything in terms of entertainment, I think it hurt gamers as much as it hurt, people that like movies or people that like television. And I'm not making light of the people that were impacted by this in any means or way or the other things. I'm just talking about from that particular perspective. Now, I think E3 lost some of its luster when Sony decided to stop doing it, clearly when Nintendo stopped doing it. I would love to see everybody doing a big showcase around the same time. We know Microsoft is, and now, according to Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb, he did drop some very interesting information about what's going on, and I think that it makes a lot of sense for obviously a ton of reasons. But this is a huge reason to be optimistic if you're an Xbox fan. This is some incredible stuff. I can't wait to get into it. I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear all about it. So it was very interesting because Grubb did his Grubb Snacks thing, and everybody kind of translated. I watched a good part of it live or whatever. But the interesting things were the way that people take whatever is mentioned about Xbox and kind of run with maybe a negative portion of it is kind of funny. So I saw on Reset Era, the article or the thread that somebody made had something to do with expects most of Xbox lineup to launch in 2024 and 2025, which sounds very damning. People are like, oh man, we're already not getting anything in 2022 and now we're not going to get anything in 2023, which is not what he said at all. So I guess they did lock the thread. But so I went back and listened to it myself. And basically, kind of what a summary of what he said. He says, I think a lot of what Microsoft stuff will probably stay quiet. They have a ton of stuff that they have announced and haven't done anything with. They haven't even shown gameplay of many of these things, but they can show gameplay of half of them and still have a huge number of games. Like they could show half of them and not have shown anything from Perfect Dark or Contraband and a bunch of other stuff. So I think that's how I put it. There's so much stuff from Xbox, many of it probably not coming till 2024 and some slipping into 2025. And those cases, you're not going to get an update on every single one of those, just kind of no way. Seems like he's kind of saying, you're going to get a lot of gameplay from 2022, 2023, but you're not going to get gameplay and updates from stuff that's 2024 and out, which makes a lot of sense for me personally. Now, the other thing is he says expect lots of gameplay to be shown at the Xbox showcase. Last year, Xbox mandated that studios have to have gameplay ready for the showcase. Avowed gameplay looks like it's going to get shown, and maybe Contraband, but he says Contraband missed some milestones or whatever. Now, that was one of the games that surprisingly was going to launch this year, and we didn't know anything about it. I think it was meant to be shown off last year the way that they did it, and then it was going to actually launch towards the end of the year this year, kind of as a surprise thing. And then obviously they've missed some milestones or whatever, and it got there was actually rumors that it got pushed into 2023. It could either get pushed way back into 2023 or even further. I don't know. Missing milestones isn't a very good thing. And yes, to those that are wondering, I am a little bit under the weather, so apologies for some of the way that I sound extra stuffed up and things like that. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, it happens. We get under the weather, kids bring home sicknesses and that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's not going to be too bad. But the Obsidian developer, Josh Sawyer, has actually hinted that they're going to be there. He seemingly hinted that the studio is going to appear at the event. On Wednesday, Josh Sawyer, quote, retweeted a tweet from the official Xbox account about Xbox and Bethesda showcase with, quote unquote, anyway, and a painting of nails emoji, which is typically used to signal that the poster has something they want to say, but can't say it yet. Obsidian currently has 3 games in development: Grounded, which entered early access in 2020, Avowed, which was revealed in 2020's showcase, and Outer Worlds 2, which was revealed at the 2021 showcase. The Outer Worlds 2 was revealed with a trailer which jokingly suggests that the game is nowhere near ready, and that the only thing they have finished is the title. So it's perhaps unlikely that the game appears as part of the showcase outside of another teaser. Avowed, however, seems far more likely to have a significant presence at the show. In October last year, as I've also covered many times, Windows Central reported that the game will feature two-handed first-person combat, very similar to Microsoft's stablemate Bethesda with the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It was said at the time that an early working version of the game was close to being completed, so it's possible that the first gameplay of the RPG will be shown at the event. If The Outer Worlds was Obsidian's take on Fallout-style game, Avowed is undoubtedly Obsidian's take on Elder Scrolls, according to Windows Central. The game reportedly features swimming gameplay and may include some destructible environments too. Xbox and Bethesda's game showcase will be held Sunday, June 12th, and it is going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern, so hold on to your butts. I think it's going to be a great show, and we're going to see a ton of fun things from Microsoft. It looks like that report that pretty much everybody has added something makes a ton of sense. You know what I mean? And I do think that that's going to be what a lot of people kind of look to when it comes to these types of announcements and this type of news, is that they want to see gameplay. Obviously, in a year where you're a little bit disappointed because, Starfield, Redfall get pushed, you're going to want to still see tons of gameplay on some of these games to show for something, because the last couple years of a pandemic really kind of kept there from being any type of gameplay with any substance. Anyway, we weren't really getting anything, so that's why I think the mandates probably came down. Hey, we got to actually show some gameplay. I mean, I think that their E3 last year was incredible, especially when compared to the previous ones recently, but I also think that the big thing that they got any heat from was the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of gameplay to be shown there. I thought it was a pretty good game showcase as well, but the lack of actual gameplay really kind of hurt it in multiple ways. So hopefully that's something that we continue to see change in the future, and we continue to see Microsoft and Sony show a lot of gameplay. Like, we're getting out of that whole pandemic era of not being able to have to be forced to work remotely, which means nothing but good things for everybody involved, and that's an exciting prospect, because if you think about it, everybody working remotely, we were never going to get all of those big announcements and things like that. We were going to have to wait or whatever. So yeah, I do hope that we see some changes there. And listen, I want to see a ton of stuff as well, but I realize they're not going to show probably everything that we expect. We're going to see Forza, we're going to see Avowed, we're going to see Starfield, we're going to see Redfall, we're going to see the things that you probably expect. Fingers crossed that we're going to see Fable, maybe put some minds at ease right there. But do I think they're going to show absolutely everything? No, because it'd be silly to do that, outshine some of the other things that they have already shown and things like that. So I'm excited to see what they have. It does seem like they have a ton of fantastic things to show, and it does seem like they've got a ton of games that they might even announce some new stuff, which I think would be cool. But I think even if they don't, and they just focus on showing actual gameplay and giving us some release dates, that's going to go a long way in making people feel extremely happy. I wouldn't mind, by the way, them throwing in some games like Gotham Knights or whatever into Game Pass day one, sort of to make up for some of the problems they've had this year as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. It's going to be an exciting time. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm sure you guys all are too. What do you guys want to see from this? Because I know that a lot of people want to see different things and they have different ideas, but I'm curious to hear what yours might be. Thanks for watching. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like on it. It helps it to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, grab gamer 'em up. Crap Gamer out.